In this first video here, I'm just going to talk a bit about the Ken Burns effect here, this highlight button, and then just general updating as far as the CSS for this theme and where you should do that so it is easiest for you. All right, so first off, this Ken Burns effect is easy to take off. It's a class that's applied to the section. So here in the section settings, under Advanced, there's a CSS class of Empire. Ken Burns header linear, just take that off and save it, and the Ken Burns will no longer happen. And then you can go to your background and turn on or off parallax. The parallax has to be on for the Ken Burns effect to work. So that's how you do that. And then let me talk about the buy now real quick here. And then I'll also, let me go ahead and get out of this. And then let me also show you one more thing about the headers and how we're doing the transparent headers. And that's an option as well. So for the transparent header, it's on a per page basis. And if I go into the home page, just the regular edit, not edit with Divi, but the regular edit, or click on the title, I'll be taken to this page edit screen. And you'll see down here we have page classes Empire Hero. If I take this, let me go ahead and I'll remember it. If I take this off and I update this page, and I'm just running off my local machine, which seems to run a little bit slower than the web for whatever reason. But you'll see that once this page reloads, there's going to be a dark bar behind the navigation now. And that's set in the theme customizer like you normally would. So if you have a light colored logo, you could set this, or you have a dark logo, you could set this to a light color and then change all this in theme options, except for possibly some of the colors for the drop down here, which I'll get into in the CSS file. But so you can see now that we have this bar all the time. But if I go back to the edit page and I just add down here Empire Hero and I update, now when I refresh, that bar is going to be gone until I scroll, then it's going to show up. So that's how we're doing that, and that is happening through one of the plugins that we suggest that you install with the theme, which is the custom body class plugin here. All right, so yeah, so now you'll see that it's gone until I scroll, then it shows up. And then really quickly, the Buy Now button. So here I am in the main menu. If I come down to Buy Now, you can see that I have a highlight CSS class. If you don't see this open link in new tab and CSS class option, go to the top of your screen, hit screen options here, and you'll want to turn on CSS classes and link target, and that will turn these options on for you. But if I remove this class and save, now when I refresh this page, this is just going to be a regular link like the rest of these are. And so that's how you can kind of emphasize, and I usually emphasize it on the last item. And then as far as the coloring for that, that's in the CSS file. When I do the CSS file overview video, I'll go over that. But now you can see it's just a regular buy now. It's just a regular menu item. And then if I go back to the menu and under buy now, put back that highlight class, no dot, just highlight, and save, then that button's going to come back. And then as far as the CSS file here, I'm going to go over this and show you where, like you can see already, there's the Ken Burns section. The header starts, here's some overlays. The header starts happening down here. Navigation. There's the highlight button, and there's some colors right here that's being set, and that's where you change those. So I'll go over this right now, actually. So this is your theme style sheet here. So you don't want to make edits in here because if you ever update the theme, your edits in here are going to be replaced. So what I recommend doing is utilizing the theme options, Divi theme options custom CSS area to override anything that's in here. You'll be able to get to this file either by using FTP, or you should be able to go to, oh, I don't see it here. We must be blocking it. Maybe it's in Customize. I'll take a peek. Might be through FTP only, but it's probably good as you don't want to be accessing this file and changing it. But let me see, additional CSS. Yeah, okay, that's empty. All right, so here's what I would do. What I would do is, I'm just going to hide this for now. But let's say I want to change the color of this button. This is in CSS here. I'm going to right click in Chrome, inspect it, and then I'm going to see it here, and I see this top menu, li.highlight A. Here's a couple colors assigned to it. So I'm just going to copy this guy. Or if you do have the CSS file open, which you'll get as part of your download, actually. It'll be in the theme folder. So you'll have this, but you can find out where that line is at. It says style.css. Looks like line maybe 247. Let me go down there to 247 here. Yep, and here it is right here. So you can either copy it here, or you can copy it right here. I'm just going to copy this, and then I'm going to paste it in here. And let's say instead we want the background color, oh man, to be black. And then we want the text color to be white. I'll go ahead and save this. And then we'll refresh this page, and that should change. And then the same deal with a hover state. I should pick the shorter page to do this on. That way it doesn't take forever to load. But you can see now it's black, and then the text is white, and then my hover state. So I'm going to inspect this, and then here's the rule that we had. I'm going to click this hover state here and click hover, and you'll see that this guy shows up with this purple color. I can either copy this, or I can go here and I see here's the hover state of the button. I can copy this, go to my theme options, and maybe on hover, we want the background color to be white and the text to be black. So they're going to switch them. Now these other items that we're not changing, we don't need them here. Like if we're like where the padding is at, we don't need that on there. If we like the font weight where it's at, we don't need that. Just the stuff that we're changing here. Opacity, we don't need that. All right, let's save this and see if now, and actually I'm going to start using the interior page here as a test page. That way it loads a little faster. There we go. So now it's black background and white text. I hover, white background, black text. So that's how you're going to override anything in the CSS file. You're going to put it here. That way, if the theme updates, or when the theme updates, it's going to update this file, but your overrides will still work safe and sound in here. And I always suggest making a new, making like a new CSS style. I'll call this empire.css, or whatever your project, project name.css. And then I usually put anything I write in here, and I have a snippet that says last edited by, today's October 8th. And every time I update this, I update that as well. That's kind of how it will look. So any of your overrides are going to go right here in theme options. That's a great spot for them. And then you can save them separate as their own style sheet. All right, that wraps it up for this video. And in the following videos, we're going to go through and talk about how to update the more unique parts of the Empire child theme. Cheers.